this is not how we've done it. This is going to be terrible. I can't do this. It won't work. We heard all of the reasons why not. But through continuing to build their confidence in the training process, we were able to get them on board quite a bit.
Hello everyone, welcome to this inspiring episode of our Customer Story series, spotlighting the incredible partnerships that make a difference. Today we are shining spotlight on our loyal customer, Grande Cheese, and their journey with Dynaway EAM. My name is Alexandra and I'm a digital marketing specialist at Dynaway, and I'm thrilled to be your host today. Joining me is Matt Stachura, the Senior Reliability Analyst at Grande Cheese. Welcome, Matt, and thank you for taking your time to be here today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Today we'll dive into Grande Cheese's experience before and after implementing Dynaway EAM. We'll explore the challenges that they faced, the decision-making process that led them to Dynaway and the implementation journey, and of course the tangible benefits. So let's just maybe hear directly from Matt. Can you briefly introduce yourself and your role at Grande Cheese, Matt?
Sure, absolutely. I've been with Grande Cheese now for 10 years. I'm the subject matter expert for our EAM system. I've had many roles here at Grande over those 10 years, starting all in maintenance, being a technician and a supervisor, planner, scheduler. So all of the aspects of our CMMS EAM system tie together into that and led me into a reliability role.
Could you also give us a high-level overview of Grande Cheese, of the organization that you work at?
Absolutely. Grande Cheese is a family-owned company established in 1958. We're Wisconsin-based. We have 9 different facilities in Wisconsin. We specialize in Italian cheeses, both aged and fresh cheeses. We make a lot of pizza cheese. That's one of our biggest products. We support independent pizzerias and delis, as well as with our whey products. We service different food manufacturers as well.
Amazing. I read on your website that at Grande Cheese you aim to produce the finest Italian cheeses money can buy. How would you say Dynaway EAM support this mission?
It allows us to be able to accurately track in real time the data from our equipment and allows us to be very agile in making adjustments to ensure that our customers get the best product on time and the amount that they need.
Yeah, it's much easier to streamline the data with the system like that. That's for sure. And could you also maybe share with us, because you implemented Dynaway, I think it was 2020 that you implemented Dynaway, but what was your process before that?
So we started, like any company, we had yellow cards. We then upgraded into the early versions of the CMMSs. Our last system that we were using was the Infor, and we moved away from that into the D365 EAM and Dynaway.
So the previous system, was it like a standalone solution, EAM, or was it just standalone?
It was standalone, which was one of the reasons we moved away from that as part of a major ERP initiative with our company and streamlining. We were looking for a partner that paired better with the Microsoft product.
Yeah, I see. Probably that was like one of the biggest advantage of Dynaway, right? That it's built in directly. What would you say were the other advantages that put Dynaway in
I would
front?
say
Yeah.
for us, the mobile work platform is
Yeah.
probably the greatest advantage for our end users, the ease
Yeah.
and simplicity of use. Um, the planning board application for our planners and schedulers with the drag and drop and the teams and calendars that you can build inside of there really allows to segregate that. The other major advantage of Dynaway that we looked at was part of the work order checklists.
Work order checklist. Yeah. What about the safe work? I know that safety is very important when it comes to food manufacturers, but are you currently using the safe work module?
We
No.
currently do not use the safe
No.
work. After our recent visit to the Dynaway Connect conference, that's one thing that we put on our bucket list to look to implement here in 2024, early 2025.
Great. How would you define the major challenges of your maintenance and reliability management processes before implementing Dynaway EAM? What was the biggest pain point for Grande Cheese?
I think our biggest pain points were ease of data collection. There wasn't a lot of areas to collect real-time information from start and stop times, as well as capturing all of our parts in inventory opportunities inside of there, as well as the reporting on that data was not easy to get the data out and use it for different analytics.
So how many people in the Grande Cheese are currently using the system actually?
Right now we have about 175 end users on a regular basis, and we have probably 500 to 750 different requesters that have opportunity to make requests in the system as far as work requests.
So they don't have the full license, but they can request.
Yeah, because we believe everybody should be able to make an opportunity to
Exactly.
create a safety work order, or if they see something, they're the people that are closest to the equipment, closest to the process, and we get the fastest, most accurate information from our associates on the floor. So we wanted to empower them to be able to make requests and use the system in partnership with our maintenance team.
Yeah, definitely. So then you can react quickly to those requests. All right. Probably you were also very involved in the process of integrating Dynaway EAM, right? If it was like 4 years ago, you were already in the Grande Cheese.
Yes. Yep. I was in my role during the integration, correct.
Yeah. And do you remember how did it go? Was it a long process? Was it a difficult process? Did you work with the local partner, or did you just do it with help of our consultants?
We had a combination of a Dynaway consultant we worked with, Clayton. He helped us do our integration from a Dynaway standpoint. We also had an integration partner from our ERP standpoint as well. So it was about a 12-month process from data validation from our old system to training our planners, schedulers, supervisors, end users, requesters, and then the actual cutover into the new system. We started that roughly in January 2019, and we went live January 1st of 2020.
Okay, 12 months. Yeah, it seems like a long time, but it's also like a huge change. So I think it still went pretty smoothly, right? Like you still got the help you needed.
Yeah, absolutely. And it went really quick, trying to get that many different groups of users together for the amount of time and, give them quality training. So when we went live, we weren't constantly struggling behind and
but you really went
what
live.
we needed to do.
Yeah,
I think the training is the most important part of the implementation. We definitely focused heavily on the training of our end users.
That's the right approach. I think so too. And how did the end users, how did your employees responded to the implementation of Dynaway EAM?
I think they responded like most other end users when you change something, right? Like this is not
Nobody's happy.
how we've done it. This is going to be terrible. I can't do this. It won't work. We heard all of the reasons why not. But through continuing to build their confidence in the training process, we were able to get them on board quite a bit faster, I think, than if we were to just put it in their lap and then try to say, now use this. So that's one of the reasons that I think the training is really important.
Yeah, so then you can also encourage them that it actually makes sense to use and to migrate.
Right. How can we create different efficiencies for them? From a technician standpoint, the mobile version was a lot easier to access information, to enter information. And then from a planner scheduler side, it was a little bit more detailed on the back end, but also created some efficiencies for them also.
Yeah. So the system that you used before, it didn't have the mobile version either.
Correct.
Correct. Okay. And did you use Microsoft ERP before as well? And then the system that was not connected, or you moved also to different ERP?
We moved to a different ERP.
ERP, okay. So it was both change of the ERP and the EAM. It was everything at once.
Yeah, it was major. We had taken I want to say 25 different systems and rolled them into one major ERP initiative.
Wow.
So it was a very busy time for our company, for sure.
I can imagine. It's good it's over.
100%.
I have some questions also regarding the food safety again. I know you are not using Dynaway Safe Work. You are planning on that, but currently you are not. So how would you say currently Dynaway is contributing to food safety practices and compliance efforts?
So from a compliance standpoint, we use our maintenance sequences or rounds to capture the regulatory things that are, standard that we have to do to maintain those compliances. We also use different job types from a food safety to a regulatory. So when we're doing audits and things internally, we can capture those object items right away. We also use an object type as a specification. We have different specifications on our object types, which allow us to segregate some of the data out and understand what we have for work moving forward on different objects and things that have been done with our critical control points and things like that, where there have different aspects of that component for food safety, regulatory, and quality.
Okay, so you can easily keep track of everything, basically.
Yeah, we've done a lot of work around trying to understand and build those things inside of there with the different aspects of those, mainly work order types and object type specifications.
Okay. Could you give an example that is more relatable?
Sure, absolutely. So one of our critical control points is metal detection. So anytime that there needs to be work done on a metal detector, they has to be recalibrated. So one of our checklist action items is that work was completed, and that creates an email alert to our quality department which then is able to come out and follow up on the work and make sure that the metal detector is still calibrated and ready to go. That's one example of how we're using the checklist action item inside of that. As far as some of the object types, so we use a specification of FSQR, food safety, regulatory quality. And when a work order is created with that object, the quality department is notified that there was a work order created for that. And then we're able to also track all of the preventative and predictive work that goes on with that specification also. So those are some of the ways we use those aspects to tie into our food safety and quality.
I have some questions about, I don't know if you have, probably you don't have any metrics to tell me now, but
Sure.
just about some KPIs that you
Absolutely.
track. Yeah?
Sure.
So,
No problem.
so would you be able to share the metrics?
Yeah. Some of the metrics we use, we have our own BI department creating our analytics. We currently don't use the Dynaway Analytics, but it's a fantastic product. Everything we've seen from that, our company has just decided to use our own internal resources for that. One of the largest KPIs that we use is our maintenance cost analyzer. So that brings in all the cost information from the work order, from items and hours, purchase orders and requisitions, and compiles that into an at-a-glance view by object, by functional location, by department, so that our maintenance managers and our directors can see at a glance, where we're at from a cost standpoint. It also is very beneficial for our engineers who are creating our capital projects, improvements, able to understand the life cycle costs of the equipment and base, financial decisions on those types of things. Another one we use is object reliability. So we measure mean time between breakdown inside of that. We also have our top 10 bad actors report inside our object reliability, so we can understand what's eating our lunch every 30 days, every week. Monthly, we have top 10 bad actor meetings to discuss, those things and watching the objects move up and down that list and what we can do to focus on those things. Because oftentimes we remember the ones that are most expensive and in our face. We don't look at the ones that are occurring time over time, but only requiring a little bit of time, but creating a large cost no matter what. So, and then we also use the work order fault codes. That's another KPI that we work with a lot. We've set up all the fault codes, remedy codes inside of the system for all of our object types. So when our technicians enter their work order information, they'll enter the fault codes, remedy codes, and then we use that data to also help with look at different reliability issues.
Okay, so if you have this code, then you already know what the problem is. Like, it gives you an idea what might be wrong, or
right. So if it's a pump, is it leaking? Is the motor? What's their general codes, and they're standard for all object types we created based on the object type. So the technician doesn't have to scroll through a list of 100 different faults or remedies, and then it allows us to also analyze that data a lot quicker because we're not having custom entries inside of that.
Yeah. I also like that you mentioned this top 10 bad actors. I think it's really important to look at because, you might invest in the, you said people remember when you spend a lot of money on the new equipment that is expensive, but then in reality, you might be spending even more on the old one not working properly. So it's better maybe sometimes it's better to just like throw it out and just get a new one if
Correct.
it's just repeating all over again.
Yep.
So you measure a lot of KPIs currently, but have you also kept track on them before using Dynaway system when you had your previous solution?
No, with our previous solution, we really didn't measure any of those metrics at all,
Okay.
because the data wasn't really easy to extrapolate out of there, and
Yeah.
it was not very real time. Right now, we can get start times when the request is put in to when the mechanic starts on the job to when he finishes the job. All of those things allow us a lot more information at our fingertips.
Yes. So probably it's hard to say how Dynaway influenced those metrics if you didn't look at them before, if you didn't know what they were before.
Yeah, except that we didn't have the capability, and now we do, and we're really grateful that we have that capability inside of the system for sure.
I'm happy to hear. Yeah, it's hard to improve anything if you don't know your baseline.
Correct.
I have a question about a recent updates. If there was anything over last 6 months that surprised you or delighted you in our product.
I think it's learning about the safe work module is something that I think is really going to help us moving forward inside of that, as well as using the lockout tagout module. That's something that we have currently as a different bolt-on. We don't have it built into the EAM, but we're going to look to transition that into the EAM as well. So I think that's some of the things that for us we'll be working towards, as well as the performance issues that Dynaway constantly works to make better. In the last release, the synchronization timing has been really, really critical to help our technicians and everybody who is using the product, especially open it that first time, and you got to wait, an extended period now. That time frame has really gone down, and that builds confidence in the product for the end users also. So those have been some of the really good things recently that we enjoy.
I'm glad to hear. Safe work module sounds like an opportunity for you. I have also a question regarding the challenges, because we were talking about all the positive things, but maybe you also want to share with us some challenges or obstacles that you encountered while using Dynaway EAM. Something that was difficult to understand or...
Initially, it was the setting up of the maintenance sequences and job variants and job type setups. That was a concept that was really difficult for people to wrap their head around. And so it was hard to train our planner schedulers to be able to put all of those steps together. And it took a good year after our initial training for them to become pretty proficient and working with them, trying to help them understand the flow of that. But now that we have that in our system and are using that, it really helps us get the information to our technicians. That's really important, but also to capture the data that we need outside of those kind of things. And right, it's software, so there's always those inherent little monsters that show up. But being able to email the help desk We clearly have, a 7-hour time difference than, the help desk in Denmark. And
Yeah.
that creates some challenges in itself sometimes for a 24-hour facility. But at the same time, they're always responsive and always able to meet with us when our users are available, which is really important. Having that direct access to folks like Thomas and Alden and people who understand and built the product, that's absolutely critical to being able to trust your partner and know that if you have an innovation for them or an issue, that you're going to be able to talk to the person that can help you. We've submitted several things over the years onto the improvement process. We've implemented some of those things have been implemented, and it really is a partnership and a relationship that makes sense for us for sure, and would for other partners as well.
Makes me smile hearing that. Yeah, definitely. That's crucial, as you said. And I know many of my colleagues also, they are very flexible working outside our working hours because there is this time difference. And I have also good news. We are, probably you heard Dynaway Connect, that we are now having a new office in Tampa. So now we have only 2 employees there, but we are going to grow there as well. So this will remove this time difference that is also a barrier, unfortunately. I think we actually covered everything that I wanted to cover, unless you have something more that you would like to add, you would like to share.
I just think there are systems that are less robust, systems that are more robust, and the Dynaway product fits our needs and allows us to grow inside of that product. I think the technical support and the relationship that we have really allows us to build where we would not be able to do that in some of the other systems that we've had. And I really like that Dynaway keeps innovating. They don't sit on what they have and just create efficiency updates. They're constantly updating the product to make it better. They partner with all of their users to work on more solutions. I think that's really important because there are such a vast amount of industries that use the product, and we can all use different types of it, and maybe what applies in a power industry doesn't necessarily directly cross into a dairy business, but we can use parts of different things in the modules that people create. So I think that's one of the reasons that we will stay with Dynaway and continue that relationship going forward.
Mm-hmm. You said Dynaway fulfills your needs. So would you say that you would recommend our solution to other food and beverage companies?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Dynaway is a scalable product. I think you can use that for, small. We're a medium to large size company, and it definitely fits in a large company model as well. So I would definitely recommend those companies take a look at Dynaway and the options that they have and what they bring to the table.
Great, fantastic. That wraps up our interview with Matt from Grande Cheese. It's been a real pleasure, Matt, and a real eye-opener as well, hearing from you about your journey with Dynaway EAM. So thank you for sharing insights with us today. And to all our listeners out there, if you like this episode, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned for more inspiring stories like that.